So I mentioned before, particle size matters. And just to sort of frame this conversation, I'm going to mention nanometers. A nanometer is a billionth of a meter, which is really kind of hard to wrap your head around. But if you were to line up 60,000 nanometers side by side, that's the diameter of a typical human hair. So that's the size that we're talking about. And just to frame this conversation a little further, if you were to take a single SARS-CoV-2 virus, virion, the little particle itself, it's about 120 nanometers. Now, it normally travels on aerosols, but that's about as small as it can be when it travels. So it looks like a softball to our filter because we can filter down to 10 nanometers, which is dramatically smaller, in fact, 30 times smaller than the most penetrating particle size of a HEPA filter, which probably most of you have heard about. So particle size matters because the smaller the particle, as I mentioned, the longer it hangs in the air, but it also has the highest chance of being able to be inhaled into our lungs, down to the alveoli, and cross into the blood and spread to our body. So whether you're talking about the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which hopefully we get under control, or the common cold, rhinovirus, or we're talking about the annual flu virus or any other airborne bacteria, it's always important to make sure that we're protecting ourselves from the smallest particles. So HEPA filters, which is a technology that was commercialized in the 1950s, wonderful standard that maintains that you must be able to capture 99.97% of particles at the 300 nanometer size. Our technology is what we call 7 nines. So 99 and 5 more nines after the decimal point efficient. It's 3,000 times more efficient than a HEPA filter, and again, 30 times smaller than a HEPA filter. So these particles that we focus on are the most dangerous, and our third-party clinical research at leading laboratories around the country have validated and enabled us to be able to make this FDA-regulated claim that we can effectively capture the SARS-CoV-2 virus. It's a very important claim that is very rare in the air purification space. So I think I'll leave it there, Wade.
Brian, you make a very good point because, you know, while I guess the light is on the fact that, you know, air purifying is really important because of COVID-19, this isn't a short-term situation because that, to your point, that next virus will come, that next allergen, that next bacteria, whatever the case might be,